South Africa's efforts to address the effects of climate change on people and the economy in a manner which leaves no one behind received a firm nod from Cabinet. This comes at the backdrop of the international climate change talks at the COP26 in Glasgow. Newzroom Afrika reporter Nasiphi Same joining us live now from outside Parliament ahead of the Minister of Forestry, Fisheries and Environmental Affairs. That's Barbara Chrissy, who is going to be briefing in the next hour. Nasiphi, a very good morning to you. So this summit basically has been a talking point in the country since the pledge that has been made to South Africa of billions that are going to help with climate change talks. What can we expect from the minister this morning?
Well, Kole, as you mentioned, the minister will obviously be outlining that firm nod that Cabinet gave government in regards to outlining what exactly the country is going to be doing to be implementing some of the things that they walked away from the UN COP26 with. In terms of South Africa and implementing that. And as you mentioned, the monies that some countries had actually raised their hands to say that they will be pumping into the country to ensure that we do adhere, obviously, to some regulations and get to where we want as a country in terms of addressing climate change sooner. We do understand that a number of these world leaders that attended the COP26, many of them saying that they are agreeing on 2023 meeting their target. However, leading up to the talks, many South Africans and various groups and organizations, marched to these very gates of Parliament while our president was in Glasgow and many other world leaders having these talks as to how best to address climate change globally, where many of them formed pickets saying that they are tired of the lip service, saying that there's been many UN COP talks where world leaders meet, however, nothing tangible really comes from it. On World Global Action Day, we had the Rural Women's Assembly picketing outside of Parliament, saying that women who are working the soil in rural communities and in certain parts are actually the ones being adversely impacted by the climate change, saying that more needs to be done than just having progressive policies in South Africa. We need more implementation, and they said that they were looking at government to come back with something tangible, saying that as much as they're in South Africa while the talks are happening in Glasgow, that was about a week ago, they're saying that hopefully their voices echoed all the way to Glasgow. And we do understand that a couple of days later, another group came to Parliament and to the gates of the lawmakers, forming a human chain, and them too asking for more action rather than just lip service from our leaders. And today we will be hearing from the Minister of Fisheries as to what exactly they're going to be doing to be implementing those progressive policies that South Africa has, that people very much talk about. And we also heard from a climate change activist who flew all the way to Glasgow, saying that the fact that the policies aren't being implemented, it talks to the abuse of children, seeing that there won't be any future for them should, we continue at the pace that we are moving in the climate change, saying that so much is changing, meaning that children will not really have a future to look to, and saying that what they do want is government to implement those progressive policies now and not talk about future, nor should they start talking about 2023, saying that the changes and the impact is something that they're feeling now.
Nasiphi Same, thank you very much for giving us at least a glimpse of what will likely come out of a briefing by the Minister of Environmental Affairs, Barbara Chrissy.